Okay, hello and welcome to an episode of Real Talk. This is episode 2, and in today's episode, I want to talk to you about this little beauty here, which is the iPad Pro 11-inch version, but just any kind of iPad Pro in general. What's so amazing? What does this have to do with the Fuji? Well, I've been looking for a new workflow. I wanted to have something that would bring me closer to the family. So obviously it would have to be portable. And I kind of thought I would have to go for a laptop in the beginning. And I started thinking about, is there anything other than a laptop? Is there anything exciting? I always believe in trying something new. So I set my sights on researching and thinking of like new ways to edit and stuff. And I was going for this other laptop. They didn't have it in stock. And I'm kind of glad they didn't have it in stock. It was just like, it had a GTX 1070 graphics card in it, the i7 processor. And, the modern day laptop, it was just a spog standard thing. And I was like, you know what, a laptop is great, but at the same time, laptops can be heavy. They can get hot as well. The fans can run, and sometimes it's not always the best thing to have because it can be very distracting. And so I saw a video of someone editing. I think it was Henny the Business. You should check out his videos; it's really good. He started editing video files on the iPad, and I was like, "What? This can't be right." And they weren't just any video files. These are like 10-bit video files. He had an Xt3. He was editing Xt3 files, and then I was like, "This is crazy. You're editing Xt3 H.265 files on there." My PC, it's 4th generation CPU, which doesn't really handle HEVC files very well. So when I saw the iPad just breezing through it like butter, I was like, "There's got to be a con to this. This he must have like transcoded it into a proxy file or something." And then the more I dug deeper into it, it's like this is the real deal. This can edit like butter. It's faster to edit than my PC. It's faster to export than my PC. Now there is a problem. So let me just show you what I've been using so far. So we've got the iPad here. The pencil is a great addition to it as well. It's great for like editing through your timeline really quickly. So the app that I use is Luma Fusion, which you'll probably know if you know anything about the iPads. If you don't, this would be a great way for you to find out about it. Now, the video I just released on my channel was called Dream Girl. You can see that it's the last file. It's the last video before this one that you're watching now. And basically, I've managed to like import. Don't know if it'll focus. Yeah. So I've managed to import all the files on here, and I'm just gonna like show you. I'll just press play and you'll just see. Okay, that's a 4K 50p file, and I can scroll through it. Now this is a big deal for me. You don't understand. Like, for me to be able, let me just minimize that. So that was the whole project there. That's what I edited. For me to be able to like do that, you don't understand how pleased I am. The PC I have here, when I try to edit Xt3 files natively, it chugs, it skips, it doesn't do it very well. It's just terrible. And for me, that was a big problem. It was disrupting my workflow. I had to create proxies and stuff like that. And then it means I have to like kind of, sometimes have to go away and then come back again. It's like, wherever. I don't have to sit in this room and edit. And I really don't like editing as it is. I hate editing. So for me, it's about making the editing workflow fun. And I really enjoy just kind of like maybe 5 minutes I'll be editing a bit, and then I'll be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to procrastinate a little bit. I'll go onto YouTube. So I'll just quickly flick onto YouTube and then quickly go back again onto not Procreate, sorry, that's another app that I've been testing out, Luma Fusion. And just really enjoying like the workflow, and it's got really good like built-in transitions. It's got really good um, uh, text templates on there, graphic templates, and it's also got, you can connect it with story blocks or video blocks, whatever it's called, to natively import footage and stuff like that from their site. And it's a month, it's a yearly, is it a yearly subscription? I think you can go for a monthly one as well. So that's, if that's something you're into, that could be really good for you as well. I personally wouldn't use it because I just try to find as much free stuff as I can to keep the cost down. Luma Fusion, by the way, is 20 quid. I don't know what that is in dollars. Maybe it's like $20 for you guys, or $25. £20 for a video editing app that can edit Fuji Xt3 files is massive. Premiere Pro costs £45 a month. Let me just put that into perspective. So if you had Luma Fusion for 2 years, that would cost you £10 a year or $10 a year. And if you think about Premiere Pro, you know, to get that, it's £45 a month. That's like 450 quid a year. I never finished school, so I don't know what the maths are on that, but I can guarantee you that's a high percentage that you're paying on top. I kind of wish I didn't have to use Premiere Pro anymore. There's still a couple of projects that I've got left that I need to finish on there. So it can't edit like ProRes files and stuff like that. So that's just the kind of problem I'm having at the moment. But the export times are just super fast. Like my PC would edit and like export a HEVC file in like, let's say if it was 2 minutes, it would take literally nearly half an hour, and it shouldn't take that long. H.264 files are fine. It kind of exports as long as the file is. But this thing's like just crazy, man. It just like it. I just can't tell you how fast it is. So how do we get the Xt3 files onto here, which was the biggest problem? So at the moment with this video, I'm actually shooting 4K 25p long op, 100 megabits or megabytes, whatever it is. You know what it is. And I'm trying to see if I can natively import. So from the SD card reader from the USB to import. Now, previously in iOS 11, apparently you could do this. You could have it even at a higher bit rate and import straight in. iOS 12, for some reason, they stopped that. They didn't allow you to natively import from the card straight into here. I've tried connecting the camera to here, and it just won't import those high bit rate files. And I believe it's to do with the bit rate and not whether it's 10-bit or 8-bit. So that's something I'm trying to work on now. So I'm trying to make this a 4K 10-bit 100 megabits per second file, and try to see if I can import this directly into here. So if I can do these types of videos and the quality holds up, so if the quality of this video is crap, then I apologize in advance. But it's, you know, this is, everything I do is always a test to kind of like get a better workflow for everyone, testing the quality to see how good it is. I want to see how I can natively import on here to have that really fast workflow. So at the moment, how I've been doing it is getting the SD card, plugging it into an SD card reader onto my PC, and then connecting the iPad via iTunes on the PC and doing a file transfer. Now I connected it via wire. I believe you can connect wirelessly, but I can't remember how to do that. It's been a long time since I used an Apple product. I've been using this just to edit, and I haven't really like spent time exploring different ways to import footage. I did try a different USB-C reader, card reader, and I tried to use an ISBC Pro, USB-C Pro app. It wouldn't work for me. It wasn't recognizing it or whatever, so I've returned it. I am looking for new ways to do it. Apparently iOS 13 might allow that back in again. If this can just allow the 4K full 400 megabits per second files from a native import, it will be an absolute dream machine. I will literally never touch my PC ever again. As it stands, I have to use the iTunes, go into the apps, find Luma Fusion on the iTunes, and then in there's like iTunes file sharing. And via that file sharing, you can then drag and drop your video files into that folder. And that's how I imported 4K 50p 10-bit files at the full 200 megabits per second on here, and it edited it edits perfect like butter. You get a little warning sign that it says it's not compatible with iOS, but that's just a load of rubbish. There is sometimes when you're like trying to play back while you're editing, it does sometimes skip forward a little bit, so then you have to keep going back. I think that's a bug within Luma Fusion itself rather than the footage that it's editing. But I was really excited to kind of discover this new workflow, this technology, how far it's advanced. And I know there's been tons of videos on this already, but I just wanted to share like kind of my experiences of how it's been so far. It is a learning curve, don't get me wrong, because you're used to like a mouse and you're quicker to click, and then on the keyboard click, blah 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 blah. But it has got shortcuts in there, and you know there is like keyboards for it. I detached it. And you know there's other accessories you can do. I personally prefer the iPad without like a case or whatever, because it's a lot lighter. It's so light, literally. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. The the camera died. I had a full battery. I don't know what happened there. As I was saying, so just to go back again in case I've lost the footage, if anyone doesn't understand, you'll understand why now. For me, being light and being able to edit on the go, being able to spend time with family, really kind of integrating myself more while doing the job that I need to do, and you know enjoying it at the same time. You know, you can't put a price on being able to edit and spend time with your family at the same time. I know like you're there and you're obviously editing, and your attention might not be on them fully, but your presence is a big thing. You know, I can't bring this down with me and you know have edit in a room. You know, it's ugly, it's clunky, it doesn't really fit in with like you know the living space. So to be able to just kind of like sit down discreetly, edit on the go, you know, when you're a little bit bored, slap on a little game, kind of just to play around really. And then go back to it. You know, I find myself when I'm on the PC, I kind of like procrastinate a lot, and I'm kind of looking at other websites and taking time away from the editing. But on here, I'm finding that I'm like looking at some stuff, and then I'm like, right, let me go back into it, and it's just so quick. It's just like bang, 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 just flick up, go on to the next thing, flick up, go on to the next thing, and really kind of editing with a pencil. And then before I'd say this, I used to hate pens and pencils in school, but it's really kind of allowed me to speed up my workflow and really enjoy the working on the editing process. I just wanted to share this video with you because I really think that this is the future. And I know it's only a quick little talk. I say it's quick little talk. It's probably like 8 minutes, 7 minutes. I haven't really shown you much about it yet. And that's because I want to figure out what the best settings are between the Fuji Xt3 and the iPad Pro in terms of video quality. You know, I need to test out all the bit rates, the fastest transfer times, whether this video will retain its quality. You know, it's 100 megabits per second and it's at ISO 800. So will that affect the quality? You know, obviously I'm not shooting in log, by the way. I'm shooting in classic Chrome. Because I think if I go to log, it might start to degrade it a bit. You can actually, you know, import LUTs as well. That's the other big thing about it as well. You can import LUTs into here. So I actually downloaded the LUTs from the Fuji website. I had to use my phone, unzip it. I think there's a way to do it on here, but I just couldn't figure it out and I couldn't be bothered at the time. So I unzipped it on my phone, transferred to Google Drive. Luma Fusion has direct access to Google Drive and Dropbox and like other file sharing services, and I can just import it straight in there, and it's just so fast as well. And I don't know if it's just me, whether or not like I'm overexcited or something, but when I'm uploading a video on my PC, and this is direct wire, right, and it's like if it's a 1 gigabyte file, it can take a bit of time sometimes. I can't say how long exactly. But when I edited on here and then exported, the export was literally like for like. So if it was 2 minutes, it was like a 2-minute export. And then the upload, I don't know what wireless transfer capabilities are going on here, but the upload to YouTube was fast. And I mean, like, I was just sat there, I was like, okay, this is good. this is actually really good. So if I'm in a place with good Wi-Fi connection, I can get good speeds out of this. Or if you want to just edit a video file, you can then take it out of there once you've connected it back onto iTunes and do whatever. It is cumbersome, the process of having to get the files on there and then take them off. Like I said, I'm going to test whether or not I can get the 100 megabits file onto here, whether that's the bitrate limitation on iOS 12, which a lot of people saying it is. So if that works and it works for this video and the quality is good, then I might keep it that way. If the quality of this video looks poor, then obviously I'll just stick to using iTunes and transferring it via that way. But yeah, this was really to kind of like give an insight. Oh, sorry. Really give like a new idea for you guys of ways to edit your video footage and also photos as well. Let me just say, let me see if I've got a non-embarrassing picture. Hold on. So Lightroom's really good. You can take decent pictures on here if you want to, but you got your Xt3, so why would you do that? Anyway, this is a picture of so you can take your pictures, and I believe you can directly transfer. I haven't done that yet on the Xt3. So the good thing is like if you're editing photos, this is exciting for me as well because I really want to get into more photo editing. So you can kind of, what am I doing here? Oh, I'm going wonky. All right, so that's me. That's a picture taken on the iPad Pro. And you've got all the usual features. And the ability to get the pencil and like get the adjustment brush, and just to like really kind of hone in and zoom in and like go in closer and then my ugly face and then just like draw more. I haven't selected the right settings because whatever. But the ability to do that with a pencil and not have to like buy a Wacom tablet or whatever, that's a process that's now simplified. And I can't see why, once you've gone this route, I can't see why anyone would want to go back to using a computer or a laptop, because it's just easier. You can just literally go in, you can just do all your little adjustments. And I get it, like some people are like very effects heavy and are used to like Photoshop editing and stuff. And I've heard that there is a Photoshop app coming out very soon. I say very soon, but it's coming out soon-ish. And you'll probably be able to do exactly the same what you could do there. And I think that would eliminate the need to even have like a PC or a Mac or whatever. And you could just literally go into anywhere you wanted, airplane, whatever, sit down, just inconspicuously start editing, whether it's your photos or videos. So yeah, that was my little real talk with you, how this has been for me editing. Have you thought about using the iPad Pro? Are you using the iPad Pro? I've asked around a little bit. A couple of people were skeptical. They were like, why would you use an iPad to edit videos? It's not professional, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if it works, it works. If it's simpler, it's simpler. If I can take it out and I can edit on the go, if it's lightweight and everything like that, I'm getting old. I'm nearly 30, This is a real good. I'll let you can see my light. That's I'll explain the lighting situation another time. This is a really good solution for those of you who are on the go, and as well, just between me and you, if you have like kids or whatever and a wife and you're trying to justify your next purchase, you can always say that the iPad Pro is for the kids, and then just use it mostly for yourself, and then say like, well, kids, it's there if you want to use it, and then take it away again. Just a little down. My daughter plays Minecraft on here, so that's how we justify it. So yeah, that's the iPad Pro first initial thoughts. I'm gonna start doing like an in-depth kind of walkthrough between the Xt3 and the iPad. I know I've explained it, but I know a lot of people like to see it. So I'll probably do like a day where I go out shooting and then talk about what I discovered were the best bit rates as a happy medium. I usually go full whack, but sometimes it's not necessary to do that. And it probably is overkill. But yeah. Anyway, that's been enough for today's episode. I've been Alps Lifey. This is Real Talk. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up button. Maybe subscribe if you want to have another conversation or listen to more rants and more reviews on technology and gear and how we can speed up our workflow together. And also, if you know how to transfer files over with directly, let me know. Is there an app or something that I can use? I don't know. I've been away from iOS for a long time, and I'm just coming back into it now. And I'm slowly discovering stuff. So who knows? Maybe in the next update, we might even see direct transfer with those high bitrate files. But in the meantime, hope you're all having a nice day. Enjoy yourselves. Go out, shoot some videos, shoot some photos of your family, of your kids, spend time, whatever. Peace out.